to help you if you're a little behind with your notes. Now let's jump into our lesson. You need to start in your notebook, and we'll get real specific with it tomorrow. But today, you title your lesson. So today's lesson is integer operations. So put the title up at the top of your notes. If you haven't already done so, do now. Again, start doing this with everything in your lesson that day in your notebook. For your Edpuzzle, for today's lesson, IXL, vocabulary. You have it all together, so when you take your quiz that week or your test, you have a place to refer to. All right? On Friday, you're going to have your weekly quiz, and it's going to be over all four integer operations in Quizette. All right? All right, let's keep going. Please write this down. An integer is both a positive and negative whole number. Please write that down in your notes. An integer is both a positive and negative whole number. -8, +7, -2, 0. Okay? Positive and negative whole number. Alright? We're going to look at two ways to solve an integer problem. And I'll tell you, I had students this morning that was choosing a number line. That's okay. The problem you run into, let me show you what I mean by this. The problem you run into is when you have half x minus 5 equals 25. What you run into when you have problems like this, you have a fraction, and it's very hard to use a number line when you're dealing with fractions. So I'm okay if you feel you want to use the number line, but understand you need to have a higher level of understanding. All right, can you draw that number line, please? Draw that number line. Tristan, you have questions? Draw that number line. You're going to use it to solve a few problems. Then we're going to transition to look at the other way to solve a problem. FYI, not only do you have your notes here, but in your module, if you go back to the home page, again, I posted this resource before in chapter 4, but here's a cheat sheet with two different flowcharts for integer operations. So there's no reason that you don't have the resources to do this, because you do. All right, there's your number line. Here's the problem that I want you to draw, and we're going to talk about it. Okay. So notice we start out at -4, and we're adding to that value a +8. So we have a positive and negative whole number. Notice we start at -4, we move right 8 spaces. So what's the solution? If I'm at -4 and I move right 8 spaces, what's the solution? What's -4 plus a +8? Where am I at right here? Yes. +4. All right? So the answer is a +4. A number line makes a lot of these type of problems very simplistic in nature. All right? But it doesn't work for all values because of the fractional issue that we run into. Alright? How would I do that? Try to label that on your number line. How would I label 6 minus -8? See if you can do that on your own. Where would I start out at? 6. Where do I go? Backwards to the left. That's right. So what's my answer? -2. -2. Should be drawing these examples. You have the space. Again, I'm going to look at your notes at the end of the day. Please don't be someone that